Though we have all traveled many uncertain roads, we have always recognized something wasn't right. We searched high and low, yet our paths had never intersected. Our desire to seek truth, then to speak true, has brought us all together. That thing of ours is rooted in truth, because truth is the only unshakable foundation. In the greatest book, it states in John 8:32, "For ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Truth is a powerful force. It is the foundation on which all great achievements are built, and the bedrock of trust and respect in any relationship. When we are rooted in truth, we can be confident that our decisions and actions are grounded in reality rather than in speculation or wishful thinking.
The pursuit of truth is not always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to face uncomfortable facts. But in the end, the truth is always worth it. It allows us to make better decisions, to build stronger relationships, and to create a more just and equitable world.
From politics and world events to entertainment and pop culture, we've got you covered. We'll explore our history and the stories that matter to uncover the truth that lies at the heart of each one. With our fingers on the pulse of the news cycle, we'll provide the insights and analysis you need to stay informed and engaged. As we stay rooted in truth and let the truth guide us in all that we do, let us be willing to listen, to learn, and seek out the facts, even when they challenge our own assumptions or beliefs.
Let us never forget that the pursuit of truth is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective one. Only by working together
With honesty and integrity,
can we build a better future for ourselves
And for generations to come.
This
is That Thing of Ours.
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. Yeah, we're way late. It's been an adventure, and Kay had a doctor's appointment run late, but everything's good. Yeah, we're just trying to get online while life is going on. We know that a lot of people probably aren't going to be here, but that's fine. If you do get to see this after the fact, we appreciate you watching it. We're just going to do a little bit of news today. The schedules are a little bit hectic, so we're actually talking about going to 3 times a week instead of the full 5 days a week right now.
With my neck.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with Kay's neck and, having to sit here and stuff like that. But the good thing is that we're getting things taken care of finally. So praise be to God for that. And
We do apologize.
yeah,
for
we do
being
apologize
late.
for being late.
We know you guys have a life, so
Yeah, we know you have a life, and y'all are here for us, and we're doing what we can with what we have where we are.
yes.
All right. So, shoot, you want to, how do you want to go ahead and do this?
Well, there's no one here.
Yeah, I know. How's it going, everybody?
Might as well just.
We got 4 people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do.
All right. Yeah. People will stroll in when they stroll in.
You ready?
Yeah.
Then we're just
Yeah. We're just going to jump right into the news, but thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Okay. Would you read that, please?
Yes. Danish study claiming no link between aluminum and the jibber jabbers and autism appears to have fudged data.
No way.
What? What a
I know.
surprise.
So shocked.
Yeah.
All right. Let's listen.
All right, let's listen.
There are about 500 kids in Denmark with a neurodevelopmental condition associated with the higher dose of aluminum. The study that proclaims no evidence of disease is riddled with evidence of disease. And that is not a lie of omission. That is a lie of deception. Anderson et al., this paper, the 4 authors lied. The narrative of the paper does align with the fudged data, but the numbers don't align. And when they updated the data so that the numbers do align, the statistical significance of the supplementary data is at odds with the manuscript itself. What the data shows is that had children who were vaccinated
Hey, Bubbles.
with a higher
Thank you for
dose
joining.
of aluminum, been vaccinated with something slightly smaller, a slightly lower dose, they could have prevented 9.7 per 10,000 neurodevelopmental conditions. That's 3.7 per 10,000 of other pervasive developmental disorders, 4.5 per 10,000 autistic disorders, 8.7 per 10,000 autism spectrum disorder. In this multiple decade study, about 500,000 kids got that higher dose, meaning there are about 500 kids in Denmark with a neurodevelopmental condition associated with the higher dose of aluminum. That is significant harm.
Thoughts?
All right. So just did a quick little search here. Aluminum effects on the body. And it says aluminum exposure can affect various bodily systems, particularly the nervous and musculoskeletal systems. While acute toxicity is rare, chronic exposure, especially in individuals with impaired kidney function, can lead to issues like bone disease, osteoporosis, neurotoxicity affecting the brain and nervous system, and anemia. Exposure occurs through various sources, including food, water, cookware, and some medications and jibber jabber things. That's just a quick Google search, and it says this. So it's not hard to really, see that. We know that aluminum is not healthy, so why are we putting it in the human system, the blood system? It just doesn't make sense. There's Silver. Hey, Silver, thanks for joining. Appreciate you showing up. Yeah, you probably missed a lot of the stuff earlier. Kay had a doctor's appointment, and so it ran long, but she's actually getting the help she needs with her neck and everything. So praise be to God. We're getting some positive movement there. So lots of reasons to rejoice and be happy. There's Liberty. He has rated the stream. Thanks, Liberty. We appreciate you rating the stream, sir. Oh man. So yeah, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that these chemicals that they put in there. But then again, they tell us mercury's bad, and for some reason that keeps showing up in the jibber jabbers. Don't really understand that. Oh, here, let me turn your mic back on. There you go.
Exactly. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
So frustrating.
All right.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, Liberty. We appreciate it. Appreciate you showing up, man.
Are you ready?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right in. The Rona years explained in 2 minutes.
Let's listen.
Let us listen. Watch too if you want.
Should I wear a mask? We know that masks don't really stop you from getting this type of infection. The science is pretty much settled on this. Masks don't work. Okay, so no mask. Actually, they're mandatory, and also we're shutting down everything. Wait, what? Yeah, it's called lockdown. I'm basically declaring martial law and saying that you can't leave your house or gather in large groups. How do you think you're going to get people to go along with this? Well, it's only for 2 weeks. It's going to last forever, isn't it? Maybe. And you're shutting everything down? Everything? Every restaurant, every store? Yep, absolutely everything. Everything's shut down. We're all in this together. So like even like Walmart and Target? No, they can stay open. Okay, well, what about like McDonald's or Taco Bell? Obviously, McDonald's and Taco Bell can stay open. Okay, so the big chain stores can stay open, but if a small business tries to stay open, we will send a tank and point a rifle in their face and maybe send them to jail. But it's only for 2 weeks or years or whatever. I mean, won't that crash the economy? Oh yeah, 100% for sure. Okay, but this stops the virus. It does not, no. Okay, other than masks that don't work and lockdowns that don't work, is there anything else you suggest that we do? Oh, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm imposing plastic barriers and social distancing as well. Okay, so those work. No, of course not. It's ridiculous. Just think about it. But we do encourage contact tracing, where you download our app to your phone and then use it to log everywhere you go and everything you do and everyone you interact with. It sounds like a precursor to vaccine passports. No way, that's crazy. Hey, by the way, we sent a investigative team to figure out the origins of the virus. Oh, so you're investigating the lab? No. Okay, well, who are you sending to investigate? The guy who runs the lab. Yeah, this sounds suspicious. It's not. I mean, the whole thing sounds sketchy. Nothing you're saying really makes any sense. And it seems like the same people imposing the masks and lockdowns are the same people that are benefiting from it. And it seems like it's going to have way worse long-term effects than the virus itself. I mean, all of this seems arbitrary and expensive. Well, it's only until we get the vaccine. And actually, it's going to be a wonderful, revolutionary new mRNA vaccine. So, thank God we have Bill Gates helping us with this. Bill Gates, isn't he the one who thinks the most pressing issue the Earth faces is overpopulation, and that the best way to reduce population is through vaccines? Didn't he give a TED talk to that effect? No, shut up. He loves you.
No, shut up. He loves you.
That was pretty much right on point.
Yeah.
I remember trying to reason with people. It's like, how is that plastic shield between you and I that the air goes over and under and around the whole cash register? How is that going to help anything? What is this stopping? And how many people? I've done retail. I've even worked at the Bucks of Star, and I can tell you that I didn't really have a problem with people just sneezing directly across the counter at my face, which is the only thing that shield would have done. The sneeze guards, basically.
Yeah.
Nothing, does absolutely nothing when we're talking about a less than 5 micron kind of little virus. And of course, then again, if the Rona was 3 to 5 microns big. Hey, B-Hops, thanks for joining. Anyway, so the what was I saying? I forgot now. And yeah, how bad is the admin censorship in this one? Just be respectful. But other than that, we're pretty cool with
Free speech.
Free speech. I don't know. It's kind of a First Amendment thing, but just try to keep it respectful, because pissing people off doesn't ever really help get anything accomplished. But anyways, yeah, the virus was 3 to 5 microns, so you'd have to have an N95 mask, and everybody's just wearing those little cheap masks. Fauci out there, oh, maybe we should put 5 masks on. And what? Put 5 masks on? What's the matter with you? Of course, then again, that's the guy that had written the peer-reviewed article where everybody agreed that the major cause of the unaliving during the Spanish flu was the fact that everybody was wearing a mask. Fauci himself wrote that. Of course, needless to say, it got kind of pulled down off of the internet. You can still find it, but whatever. What's done is done now. But you try to tell people the truth and facts, and you're just you're a racist. How am I a racist? I'm talking about how masks make people sick. But then again, the left, they just
want to kill grandma.
You want to kill grandma? No, I don't want to kill grandma. As a matter of fact, I want her to have better lung function by not having to breathe recycled air that's stuck next to her face all the time. So many people, do you remember all the people that used to get the staph infections?
Yes.
Not everybody, but a lot of people had the bad zits on their face from it. It was wild. And it didn't matter how much you told people, they just wouldn't pay attention. So you know what? That was a really good 2-minute sum up of how tyrannical everything was during that season of 19 and 20, the 2 weeks over the course of 2019 and 2020. And
yeah. To curb it.
Yeah, to curb it. Yeah, 2 weeks to slow the curve.
Yeah. With the ticker in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, I know.
Of the millions and millions of people that were being unalived from this. There's Mike.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for understanding we were late.
Yeah, so why don't we're going to go ahead and say this again, because we had to jump on super late, and we appreciate y'all showing up. Hold on. Said plenty of stuff on there and never been banned. Oh, I see. The USMC thing must be in good company now.
You are.
Well, hey, I have my moments. Anyway, so we were behind today, and that was because Kay had a doctor's appointment that went a lot longer than we were hoping it was, but it's actually good news.
Almost didn't go.
Yeah, she almost didn't go. She almost didn't go to the doctor because the fear of the surgeries and everything. Thank you.
Well, I have a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's just your C2 through C7, possibly C1 too. But anyways, it's all broken back there, and she's doing what she can.
It's all good. Not really.
Well, it is good in the sense that we've finally found someone who truly cares.
Yeah. And who was honest.
And who is honest and actually takes the veterans insurance, which has been a tremendous help. Getting some advice, and so we got to go through things. Anyway, it's going to be taking up some more time. Looks good from here. Audio, video, 100% perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I understand, but we said we were going to be here at the same time and same channel, and we weren't here, so we feel like we failed y'all. But anyways, we're probably going to be switching to 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which will give us opportunity in which to focus more where we need to focus, and we can focus more on this show, give it dedicated time.
Right. She did say that she doesn't want me sitting for longer than 30 minutes at a time, which means I'm going to have to get up and walk around.
But the good thing is I'll drink my coffee here, and it's not an actual like the bucks. It's just the plastic cup. It's reusable.
I make it.
Save the planet. She makes it. So.
I make it.
Anyway,
I'm the barista.
I think they're done with us talking about this. They're ready for us to get on with the news because there might be things going on.
I know. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you read that, please?
Leftist girl learns to appreciate chivalry in Charleston, South Carolina.
Imagine that. Let's watch.
All right.
Welcome back to Confessions of a Liberal, where I, your formerly card-carrying progressive, spill the tea on her ideological flip-flops. Today's confession is yet another something that could get me canceled. I'm Team Chivalry. Come on in. Let me hold the door for you. Yeah. Come on. Last month, I was in Charleston, South Carolina, land of the sweet tea, cobblestone streets, and time-traveling nights. Yes! I'm walking down King Street, juggling my suitcase and a coffee, when a guy in a seersucker suit runs down the stairs, grabs my bag, and says, "Let me get that for you, ma'am." Ma'am? All honesty, in my head, I was like, I can get my handbag. But in my heart, I was like, yes. Doors start to open everywhere, like coffee shops, boutiques, bookstores, wherever I'm going, it's like their job to open the door. So there was this one moment that stands out in particular where this guy opens the door for me and his girlfriend at the same time. They're this cute young couple, and she kind of looks at me with this smirk. I'm blushing, she's glowing, and there's Mr. Chivalry. He is just walking through that door like crab as a peacock. It took just that one little moment, and all three of us had a better day. So as a liberal, the subject of chivalry feels like a conversational landmine. It feels like something you don't want to bring up because it's problematic. It brings up conversations of gender, and you don't know where to go.
Let a door shut on me. I thought you might not want that. That's all. I was just trying not to offend you, and yet I wound up offending you, which is quite ironic.
I guess the question is chivalry misogynistic? I used to think so. Even though I grew up in the South, there was this turning point in, college and grad school where I was like, that's stupid, that's outdated, we shouldn't do that anymore. But in Charleston, it didn't feel like that. It just felt like kindness. It felt safe. And I'm not sure where we decided that those feelings are wrong. I started thinking about how I'm raising my kids, and I want my sons to open doors. Not because women are weak, but because it is a simple act of kindness, and it's my job as their mother to teach them those things. I want them to help the mom with the stroller or the guy on crutches, anyone who could use a hand. This is very important. This is the most important thing I'm going to say. I want people to say thank you, to not glare at them like they've just committed a microaggression. Chivalry doesn't need to be a debate about gender. It's just kindness on autopilot. Charleston, you've converted me. I confess, and I was a part of the problem. Hold the door! Let's make door holding
Hodor.
great again. No, let's not. Let's make it in again. Let's stay neutral. Let's make chivalry in again. All right, folks. So that is my confession. Tune in next time where I will probably admit that I like something that I'm not supposed to like. Until then, keep an open mind, show a little kindness, and maybe, just maybe, open up a door or two.
Thoughts?
Was that a parody? I mean, it seemed kind
No,
of like a parody. You think it
no.
was kind of legit?
She really was a left far leaning.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, Sea Strike.
Sea Strike, what's up?
What's going on? Thanks for joining. Less New Yorkers. I would imagine Charleston has more ladies and gentlemen than even Florida. I think that's a real possibility.
You know what we found out today about Florida?
Anything
They're
south of Orlando and Miami is north?
No.
You got to go north of that to be
We
in the
found
south?
out that they do things very biblically. We call our tax people out here tax assessors. Out there, straight up tax collector.
Yeah, we found that out today. I'm kind of like, "What, tax collector? What are you talking about? You mean the tax assessor?" And then no, as a matter of fact, they called the tax assessors tax collectors. Is just kind of is, but it made sense because it's the Southeast and Bible Belt, and it's like, well, I guess I can see how they would call him a tax collector.
Yeah.
So that way, if you hold that position, you know where you sit.
Just straight up tax collector.
Yeah, it's just fun fact today.
Fun fact.
Anyways, chivalry would be great. I've been going over this in my head lately. It used to be that there was only that one random person that had the handicap placard that they would hang from their mirror, and they'd jump out of the car and they didn't really have anything that was much of an issue, and so people would call them out, and it stopped, and people they decided that since all these people are not really needing a handicap spot, because it was always for the people in the chair, it was a difficult process, and there's still people that have to deal with chairs, and they should have a closer front space. People on crutches, people that really do have a difficult time trying to move about, deserve that. But when I see you get out of your Corvette, when I see you get out of your lifted truck, and you hop in and hop out.
A little lifted.
Yeah, not like a little lifted, not like an inch, inch and a half lift. We're talking like 3-inch lift, and you're jumping in and out of, climbing in and out of the truck. It practically needs a ladder. I'm sitting here wondering, how bad do you really need that handicap placard? Maybe I just don't understand how it works, but it sure is kind of a thing that you never used to see. And that was one of the chivalrous things that people did. They did it out of honor, that they wouldn't. What is going on with the lights?
It's being weird.
It is being. Anyway, it was one of those things where it's like people had enough honor amongst themselves to not lie, so that way they could get benefits. And it seems like it's become commonplace. I'm sick and tired of that. And so if this is the sign of things to come, where people recognize that, I don't know, etiquette and courtesy and honor, chivalry in general, if that's the way we're headed, that makes me very happy and gives me a lot of comfort for a future. B-Hop says, I'm in the Tampa Bay area. Love it. And I can confirm most things here are very straightforward and German.
He was stationed there for 3 years.
I was stationed in Tampa for a while. Yep.
At McDill.
It was a fun base.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's drive on.
How about some Kelly?
I could always use some Kelly. Clearwater. Nice.
Yeah, Dawn's from Clearwater.
All right, let's move on.
Ready?
Yep.
Let's.
Your voice trailed off, but that's fine. All right.
What if you were sold a lie, told a half truth, not given all the information? I mean, I don't know about you, but I was taught that salvation, accepting Jesus into your life and getting the promise of heaven, was a free gift. But let me ask you a question. If salvation was free, why does it feel like it's costing me everything? If salvation was such a free gift, why does it feel like it's killing us to keep it? I mean, come on. Is it just me? Or does it feel like we weren't given the full truth? Like something got left out? Why does the Bible talk about blessings and abundance and prosperity, joy, peace, fulfillment? But does that sound like a description of most of the Christians you know? Yeah, me either. But those are promises from God to you. What are we missing? You see, maybe nobody was man enough to tell you the full truth, but I will. The free gift of salvation that pastors love to talk about every Sunday, raise your hand and get the free gift of salvation. Let me tell you a little secret. That doesn't exist. There is no such thing. I mean, look, I get it. Salvation doesn't cost you any money, but you know what it does cost you? everything else. You see, my Bible says anyone wanting to follow Jesus needs to first count the cost. Because, oh, son, let me tell you, there most definitely is a cost. Oh, what's that you say? What is the cost? I'll tell you. It's your life. Jesus said, you want to follow me? Deny yourself. Lay down your life. And if you do, I will give you a new life, a better life. A life so good you couldn't have built it if you tried, son. We love to go to church and sing just as you are. The problem is, then we leave the church just as we were. Nothing changed. And then we get mad at God. God, I raised my hand in church. I said the prayer. Where's my blessing? Where's my favor? Where's the grace, the mercy, the love? Where is anything you promised me? Because God, it feels like I'm doing this all on my own. Any of that sound familiar? To experience this new life, a blessed life, a life full of abundance, you have to lay yours down. It's not about a prayer. It's not about some magical words that you recite to make Jesus float into your heart. The Bible says if you want salvation, believe in your heart, confess with your mouth, and repent of your sins, which means change your mind and change your direction. Meaning the way that you used to live when you walked into this church before you knew Jesus is not the same way you will walk out these doors, because your old life is over and your new life has just begun. But that's not what we do. We raise our hand. We say the prayer. Jesus says, all right, now follow me. But we walk out of the church and say, no, Jesus, you follow me. And then we try to drag Jesus with us, forcing him to bless our plan, to make our ideas work. That is not what Jesus intended at all. He said, give up your life, lay it down, and then he will give you a new one. What that really means is the freedom that you think you have right now, you give it up. Your thoughts, ideas, opinions are gone. Where you want to go, what you want to do, what you want to listen to and watch, how you respond to others, none of that's up to you anymore. When you wake up, you say, Father, my life belongs to you. What do you want to do today? Where do you want to go today? How do you want me to respond in this situation? What's your plan for my life? You see, my friends, when you do that, that's when you'll find the life you've always been looking for. I know you thought you knew what you wanted, but when has the creation ever told its creator what it's designed to do? The creator knows the creation better than it knows itself. And same goes for me and you. Is this starting to click? You know the truth now. And now you have to ask yourself a question. Who's in control of my life? Am I still trying to go where I want, to make my way, to build my castle? Or have I laid down my life and let him live through me so that all my time is built building his kingdom? Yeah, I know. That's a tough choice to make. But let me tell you some more truth. Giving your life to Jesus will be hands down the best decision you ever make. Oh, son, I'm telling you, from the second I gave everything to Jesus, he changed everything in me. He gave me a joy that I did not know could exist. He brought fulfillment in my life that is not based on what other people do or say. I have a perfect peace because my peace comes from him, nothing and no one else. Yes, there is a cost for salvation, but oh, my friends, let me tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. True freedom is found in only one place, in Jesus Christ. And more than anything, he wants you to experience it. So let me encourage you today. Give your life to Jesus. Like, truly give your life to Jesus. There's a big difference in believing in him and giving your life to him. And if you're watching this right now and you realize I've never given my life to Jesus, you can. He loves you. He created you with purpose, on purpose, for a purpose. But to find out what it is, you got to give him access. You can say a prayer. Let him know that you're making him Lord of your life, that you believe he's the Son of God. However, don't stop there. It's not about the words you speak. It's about what you do with your life. The second you walk away from this video, you have two choices. Leave just as you were, exhausted, beat down, broken, burnt out, and a mess. Or leave here just as he made you to be, a new creation. And look, I'll make a deal with you. If Jesus doesn't give you a 100% better life in return, come back to me and I'll give you a refund on that free gift. Think about that for a minute. Hey, if this message blessed you today, please check out my book. It's a 40-day devotional called Think About That for a Minute. Every day for 40 days, we take a scripture, break it down, apply it to our life. There's a prayer for the day, and then space for you to write down what God is speaking to you. I also have a brand new book that just came out called Tough Topics. It's 25 biblical answers to controversial questions. Look, I know as believers, sometimes we have questions that don't always get answered in the pulpit, or maybe it seems like there's not a black and white answer in the Bible. But the truth is this: God has an answer for everything. So not only will this book answer some of those tough questions, but really what its purpose is to show you how to get connected with the Holy Spirit so that he can lead you into all understanding, so that he can show you how to find these answers in your Bible. You can grab both of these books today at kellykministries.com, or you can grab them on Amazon. And you know what? You don't like to read? I get it. Go get them on Audible. I'll read it to you. Either way, check them out today. And think about that for a minute.
I could do Audible.
Yeah.
Having him read it to us.
That'd
That'd
be
be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, we let that play out because we play Kelly on here a lot, and he needs that support. I mean, maybe he doesn't need it, but I mean, we could all use that kind of support.
Yes.
And he's putting that out there. This was actually his second book. The first one was the red one that he had shown, and apparently I didn't know this. He's got a third book out now. So yeah, definitely check out Kelly K Ministries. So yeah, Kelly's awesome. So turning our lives over to God, what does that look like? Well, I can share a story of ours that kind of has a funny turn today. And Kay and I, we've been struggling trying to get her the medical care she needs because, all of the discs are crushed in her neck. And so as fate would have it, she was actually led to a specific neurologist that could help her out. And before she left, because she was nervous. I mean, think about, having a neck surgery or anything like that is going to make anybody a little leery, especially if you've had some difficulties with the care part of the healthcare system. And so we're going through this, and I jokingly said, well, if she comes out and she asks to give you water, and if you want her to water your camels too, then that she's the right one. And I said that jokingly, and then Kay, when she gets there, she texts me right away to let me know that there's a picture of a camel there that they had near Las Vegas. It was a picture of a camel in Las Vegas. And so she got a giggle, from like the 50s, 40s, stuff like that. And it turns out, that Kate was giggling, and the neurologist had come out, and that the reason for that camel picture to be there was because of that very story in the Old Testament. And so it was kind of one of those things where we've been turning it over to God. We have yet to see the burning bush or the pillar of fire at night or the pillar of smoke during the day. It'd be a lot easier if we could hear the voice or the donkey, start talking to us or something like that. Those would be all would be fantastic. But man, what a sign. And it's because we've been turning everything over to God and listening for his voice. And lo and behold, this happens. And so really got some real truth, and the doctor genuinely cares. And so these are the kinds of things that just kind of makes, your day. It helps you recognize the magic of God and the fact that he's there all the time. We just have to open our eyes to seeing the miracles and the communications that he gives to us all the time. And we're a little new on, trying to see the signs, but I think that things like that are exactly him talking to us.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyways, what 1 second? What are we 1 seconding?
I have to type something for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay. Very well.
There you go.
Sheriff Hector. What's up, Sheriff Hector? Thanks for joining.
Gotta say hi to our Pilled
I know. Gotta say hi to the Pilled fam. Shout out to Pilled too.
Exactly. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Would you read that, please?
American banks are using special government programs to help foreign nationals afford homes.
Imagine that. Let's
America.
Let's watch.
Why would we be helping foreign nationals buy in places where there's a housing crisis and the people who are born there can't find a house to live in.
And that's only one aspect of how the United States taxpayer is subsidizing what's happening here. About, I would say, a third of the properties in the state of Maine that would go on to become illegal Chinese marijuana grow houses were purchased using mortgages through a program called the Community Development Finance Institution. It's a designation that you give to banks. The entire purpose of the program is to help marginalized communities access financing. The idea is that if you were an immigrant in the 1990s, you couldn't prove regular income, you had irregular finances and trouble accessing a mortgage. So they created this special program to take away some of the risk from the lender. So there's one bank in New York, Quantic Bank, that has the CDFI designation, and on their website they advertise that they'll help non-citizens, foreign nationals buy property in the United States. This bank advertised on...
I'm trying not to use the F word. Why would we be helping foreign nationals buy in places where there's a housing crisis and the people who are born there can't find a house to live in? What is going on?
And then why, under COVID, would we supercharge the program with an additional tranche of funding? Why would we put that program on steroids? I don't know. I know, but I know that it was
a
good idea.
Because you want to kill and replace the people who populate your country. Replace them with other people. Obviously.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Say it isn't so.
Thoughts?
Those are exactly my thoughts. It was the great replacement theory, and that was very much a key aspect. They won't help out veterans with the VA home loan as much as they'll help out the illegal immigrants get a house out here. But that's because they were trying to replace everybody. If you love this country, they were trying to get rid of you and replace you with a whole bunch of their little communist, little scumbag friends. Yeah, hey, whatever. It's not going to work out well for you, as we've been seeing how much things have been changing in the news. Yeah, it's going to get interesting. Let's see. Confirmed a ton of Indians and Asians coming from south through Maine on Uber Lyft. That's interesting. Personal observation, I was a driver. Lots of luggage. I mean, they wanted to replace us, and it's very apparent. And that's just kind of what they were as part of their plan. Fortunately, too many people woke up to the concept, and that was another reason. The thing that President Trump was very much concerned about was the replacement. Oh, there's Steph. Hey, Steph.
Hey, Steph.
That's all right. We were late too. Uh-oh.
Yes. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Feel better.
We will keep you in our prayers, sweetie.
Very much. Okay, so with all of the talk, this is something that I've noticed, and I want to share this. And it's the Russian, the coat of arms for the Russian Empire. And notice it's yellow and black. Now, I'm going to make some connections here that may or may not actually exist. Actually, let me go ahead and pop.
There you go.
We will help you buy a house, but you must vote Dem. Yeah, that's pretty much how they wanted to run it. So Tucker Carlson always wears a black and yellow tie. Now, black and yellow can mean a lot of things, like anarcho-capitalism. That's their flag. You know, hey, go anarcho-capitalists. I'm a lot closer to y'all than most people would probably think. But the Russian coat of arms, and understanding that Tucker Carlson has favorable relations with what looks like what's going on in Russia. And so, not saying that it's a confirmed fact, but these are the kind of indicators that we should be looking at. If somebody continuously wears a color pattern, is it a fraternity or sorority? Are those colors? Is that part of it? You know, or is it something else like the, Russian monarchy coat of arms? It's the royal colors. I don't know, but these are things that just go through my little brain every now and then. And I don't know, wanted to share that as a possibility. Am I saying he's a Russian agent? No, not at all. I don't believe that, but I do believe that he has probably lots of contacts that certainly helped get him out to Russia to do those interviews, to show how their grocery stores looked like America in the 80s and about how our grocery stores look like Russia in the 80s, and obviously trying to tell us, things have changed tremendously. So he's certainly working to help wake up the American people. So I'm not besmirching his character by any means. It's just the way my brain picks up things. I don't know. Maybe y'all can figure out how I work better than I do.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Would you read that, please?
Look at that clown. All right. Lieutenant General Michael Flynn calls for an FBI raid of Obama's D.C. mansion. Ooh, wait till they find Big Mike's panty drawer. Woo, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah, I'm
Let's
ready.
watch.
All right.
Just as was done to President Trump when they raided his home at Mar-a-Lago, because they thought that and they planted evidence there in that case. But I do think that what the DOJ should be considering, if not getting ready to conduct, is a raid of Barack Obama's home up there at Kalorama in Washington D.C., where he's been since he physically left the White House. He's been running the White House, all during the Biden regime. And I do think that there's some other places that need to be raided where there are likely, a lot of evidence, a lot of receipts, so to speak, in many of these people that are part of the Obama White House, as well as the Biden White House. I mean, I just heard the great David Schoen talking about the former Deputy Attorney General Monaco, who also was the Homeland Security Advisor to Barack Obama. So that's number one. Those are things that need to be considered right now. And I was ready to wake up this morning to hear about some of these raids that should have been going on. There should, as a minimum, be a task force assembled by of federal law enforcement authorities, as well as a assigned, dedicated prosecutor at the DOJ level, at the Attorney General level, someone who is working directly for her and for the President of the United States. This has got to happen very quickly.
Thought.
He says it's got to happen pretty quickly, or rather quickly. I'm going to say that it's probably going to happen rather quickly. I firmly believe that. By the way, Obama ruined the house from Charles Hamilton Maddox. Trying to figure out who that is real quick. Born in 1886 and had built that home. So, yeah, you just whatever. So I do believe that those raids need to happen, but it's not going to happen until everything's in place. They're not. I think Obama's going to try to run to Kenya, right? And he's going to try to claim Kenyan citizenship. Q told us as much, and the way everything's been playing out, according to plan. I'm going to say that he's going to try to play that game, but once the walls have gotten closed around him, it's all of the places are going to get hit, and we're going to get all of the real information, or not all of it, but the information that they couldn't get rid of for some reason or another. But it's all going to end up taking them down through the court proceedings that are most assuredly coming up. I can't imagine, especially now that Ghislaine Maxwell has been called to testify to Congress, and she's on her way, and all of these other little tidbits of information. Of course, the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing the information that she's been releasing. It's getting close. The dominoes might not be falling, but they sure are teetering, and it's about to get real interesting when it comes to that. And there's actually some decent Q posts, deltas today as well. A lot of stuff isn't quite so available anymore, like the X posts. A lot of those are gone. And let's see, let me go ahead and share this one here, because this was kind of the most relevant. Q post number 4612, July 22nd of 2020. Let's see, the meme, in reality, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way. And he has certainly put himself in the way, and he has certainly taken the barbs and arrows. People, an informed, free-thinking public, awake is their greatest fear, united we stand. Many thousands of MSDNC direct attacks have failed to control the reach, sway opinion, and prevent growth, free thought. When direct attacks, use of inserts, cutouts, fail greater than censorship, ban, deployed as aggressive method to slow, limit growth. Next, more active violence frame-ups, controlled information dissemination system designed to control you is threatened. If you pose no threat, reach, and topics to their control, information dominance, they would not continue to expend ammunition. They would not care. Number 2 attacked number 1 POTUS, all for a conspiracy, information warfare, infiltration, not invasion. And I'd say that that's pretty relevant as to what we're seeing happen and play out right now in the news. You know, as we entertain the news around here, we try to see where things line up. And so that delta seems like it kind of speaks about the things that are going on. Now, it could be, what is it that the psychics use, the charlatan psychics, that they use vague and kind of open-ended things, which there is a lot of that for preventing, like, making dots get connected in a legal sense. But those communications still do seem to be very relevant even today. C Strike says, if you're on X, this will piss you off because I believe this is what's been happening. And sorry, it's a long read because people are quick readers. Well, yeah, I don't mind reading. And then Paul Gold Eagle. Let's see. Let me click on that. And then take a look. I'll take a look at that here in a minute. Oh, DARPA is spraying chemtrails to delete the God gene. U.S. bioweapons insider confirms genocidal soul suppression program. DARPA isn't fighting terrorists anymore. It's fighting your spirit. That's definitely something that I think could. Oh, yeah, it is. Not necessarily a Q-tard stream, but it is information that seems to be pertinent and relevant. But it's certainly not, we live by it by any means. No,
we are not anons. We don't do any of that.
No, we just take information from everywhere. And we take information from Drudge Report, MSNBC, and everywhere, because there is information that is useful in terms of trying to find
Those little nuggets
that can kind of point to the truth. And it sure does seem, I mean, General Flynn was there, and he was certainly pointed out a lot in that whole Q thing. And yet here he is talking about this. And I will say that in the next 30 days, that raid will probably happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of my guess at this point in time.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. But no, we don't live and die by Q.
No, we don't live and die by Q, because
we do news.
There's a lot of interpretation and trying to follow the process that is there in terms of, like, the Q clock and all that other stuff. And there's people who are experts about that. I'm not an expert on Q at all. I just see that there are some things that do point to the truth. So get the truth wherever we can. He handed, I know Q is real. B-Hops, he handed X-22 his ass. Did you see General Flynn go on X-22 about a year ago? Actually, no, I didn't. I have not. I watched X-22 for a little while, and there were some things that I wasn't too motivated about to continue watching. I think that they share a lot of information and a lot of very good information, but I didn't find that.
He does too many dates for me.
Yeah, he does a lot of dates, and I don't like doing dates at all. Maybe he's not doing dates anymore. I have no idea. It's been years and years.
Yeah.
That's a must-see before you even start making Q-tard references. Okay, so get that. We try not to be disparaging by calling people tards.
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone has their own.
You do you, boo.
Yeah, exactly. Again, free speech.
Free speech.
Ready?
Yep.
Would you read that, please?
VDH. I don't know what VDH is.
Victor Davis Hanson.
Oh, okay, thank you. Victor Davis Hanson says, the only mystery is whether Obama says Clapper and Brennan misled him. Yeah, there's going to be some finger pointing.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt.
Let's watch.
All right.
we knew this was filled with corrupt intentions, and these findings were probably skewed. Victor, this really isn't surprising to us, but tell me your reaction to what we've now learned, given what Tulsi Gabbard has declassified and these two different criminal referrals, one from the CIA director and one from the director of the DNI.
Well, I think it's pretty clear they're going to have written evidence and probably testimonials from these so-called great intelligence authorities at the level below Clapper and Brennan. And that's going to be damning. And the only mystery, Laura, is whether Barack Obama will say that Clapper and Brennan overread the assessment and misled him, or whether Clapper and Brennan say that Obama misled them. But otherwise, everything is pretty clear. The other problem is none of these people have any credibility. James Comey pled ignorance, amnesia 245 times under oath to this House Intelligence Committee. He leaked a confidential conversation with Donald Trump that he memorialized to the New York Times via a third party. Clapper, remember, he lied under oath to Congress, and he said that the NSA did not spy on people. Then when he was caught, he said it was the least untruthful answer he could give. Brennan lied twice. He said that the NSA didn't spy on people, lie. He said that the CIA didn't tap in to Senate staffer computers. That was a lie. Both of them were co-architects, let's not forget, of the 51 intelligence authorities. So you could really say, as a historian, a historical period, they affected the outcome one way or the other of the 2016 election and maybe the 2020, because they leaked that false narrative of Donald Trump colluding with the Russians to manufacture Hunter's laptop right before the second debate and to arm Joe Biden to go in there and lie to the American people that his son's laptop was a product of Russian and Trump collusion. So they've got a long record of no credibility, and I don't think they're going to be convincing in any excuse or apology they give.
Thoughts?
There's going to be so much finger pointing. No, it was him. No, it was him. It wasn't me. I was just following orders. Yeah, that worked out well for the Nazis, didn't it? Well, anyways, so they've been caught. They've been caught lying many times. More information is coming out. The walls are closing in on them, and this is what's going to make things interesting. Whew, I don't know, but I can say that somebody's going to start ratting on somebody, but I don't believe too many deals are going to be made. I think any deals that were going to be made were made years ago, and the only thing that's about to start happening now is truth's about to start coming out. I'm just curious, and the kind of a side note, but I'm sure it's all connected because intelligence agencies, but Ghislaine Maxwell, it's got to, people are already talking about the fact of who her dad was, the fact that he was a Mossad agent, that Epstein Island appeared to be nothing more than a honeypot operation. So how are the intelligence agencies lining up with this? What did these people know? And how is it all playing out? There's a lot of explaining to do, Lucy.
A lot.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's listen.
My relationship with God matters. Because when nobody answered the phone, when nobody checked in, when I was breaking the silence, God was there. And that's why I never let go.
Trying to type this here. Never let go. That was the only part I caught as I was trying to type this here. My apologies. I thought it was going to be
I'm going to
longer.
play it one more time.
Oh, but everybody else already heard it. I'm the clown that wasn't listening, and I got these headphones on.
15 seconds.
All right. Well, if y'all could put up with another 15 seconds because I can pay
My
attention
relationship
now.
with God matters. Because when nobody answered the phone, when nobody checked in, when I was breaking the silence, God was there. And that's why I never let go.
I shut it down.
Thoughts?
So don't let go. It's easy to kind of forget that he's there, especially when we're hoping that we would get some kind of a sign that seems as clear as what we had today, so that way we know we're doing the right thing.
Right.
Of course, then again, it could be that we need to listen harder, whatever the case is. But we have to know that God is always there.
That burning bush would be
It'd be-
so much easier.
The burning bush would be so much easier. Yeah, I know. The burning talking bush would be a lot easier.
But you live.
He already did that once. He's
I know.
kind of creative that way.
I know, but when you live in a place that has an HOA, they kind of frown on you like your bush is on fire.
Yeah, they didn't appreciate setting the rosemary on fire, but it smelled good.
It smelled great.
But it didn't start talking.
We didn't really.
No, we didn't really do that. But anyway, gotta keep our faith, even when it doesn't look like things are going right. It's kind of like the footprints in the sand poem. Sometimes when you look back in the footprints in the sand and you only see the one set, it was actually when he was carrying us through those difficult times.
I agree, Steph. And a talking donkey.
And the talking donkey. Yeah,
That wouldn't hurt either.
Right.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Would you read that, please?
Matt Walsh says Barack Obama should be in handcuffs. We've all been saying that.
Yeah, they're just catching up with us.
All right.
Again, different parts of their journey walk.
Right?
Ready?
Yep.
The Trump administration is making a claim on the record about a criminal conspiracy at the highest levels in Washington, D.C. to undermine Trump and subvert the will of the voters. And it's far from the first criminal conspiracy that people in the Trump administration or Trump himself have claimed. I believe them. I mean, I believe this conspiracy happened. The evidence is overwhelming. So what then? What will the consequences be? Right now, President Trump is, making a bunch of posts on Truth Social depicting Obama officials in orange jumpsuits. Tulsi Gabbard is doing hits on Fox News and posting these threads on Twitter. They're sounding notes of indignation and outrage. All that is fine. But none of that matters if they fail to actually go and make arrests. Barack Obama himself should be in handcuffs. You cannot allege a treasonous conspiracy and then do nothing about it. Now, if I seem a bit cynical here, the typical pattern by Republicans since forever is to make these kinds of claims, but to make them only on social media and Fox News, and to never actually bring it to a court of law so the parties responsible can be held accountable for their crimes. And I'm tired of it. I'm sick to death of it. Go arrest these people and bring them to justice. Funny memes and outraged sound bites on Fox News are not going to cut it anymore. Go make an arrest. Put somebody in prison. And if you won't do that, then what does any of this matter? Why should we care about any of this if you won't follow it up by putting people in prison? In fact, I'll say this. The consequences of these allegations from Tulsi must be one of two things. Either top Obama officials are arrested, or Tulsi Gabbard should be fired. Now, I like Tulsi. I hope she's not fired, but the only valid reason to not make any arrests is if the claims that she made are false. And if the DNI is falsely alleging treasonous conspiracies publicly, then clearly she should be run out of town. But if what she's saying is true, and I believe that it is, as I just outlined for 15 minutes, then failure to make arrests would make top Trump officials complicit in the conspiracy after the fact. There is no legitimate reason to make no arrests if the claims are true. So something must happen here. Someone has to be punished. Or else none of this means anything at all. It's just fodder for cable news and nothing else. Go make an arrest. Put somebody in handcuffs. Put Barack Obama in handcuffs. Not just in a meme, not in some AI-generated funny video. In real life. Now, they did it to Trump with far less justification. So what are you going to do, Trump administration? What are you actually going to do about this? Maybe something will happen, and I hope it does. But the pattern has always been the Republicans allege high crimes and misdemeanors only to punish precisely no one for them and to hold no one accountable in any way whatsoever. And this has to change. It has to change. Right now.
Thoughts?
Duh. We all want it to change. We all want it to change right now. Can you take us off of the screen?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was typing.
Okay. So again, it's going to require more patience than most people are willing to give. That's the biggest problem is it requires so much patience in regards to waiting for all the parts and pieces to be put in place so that way the case can be made. Again, if they had day one President Trump come in, or the first 100 days Trump comes in and starts arresting people, all this information comes out, people would lose their mind. Even the people that voted for Trump, they'd feel very suspicious of it. People are suspicious by nature. They have every reason to not trust governmental kind of things for many years of the abuses committed upon the American people by those individuals within certain portions of the government. Those people are getting rooted out. We know most of their names, and that's going to be taken care of. Steph says, sounds like he's double dog daring him. That's going to be part of this process. This is people are upset, but people are also finally pointing out, because as much as people love Rush Limbaugh, and he was a great communicator.
Yes.
I love Rush Limbaugh, Mark Levin, Glenn Beck was one of them. A lot of the radio personalities that were expressing conservative viewpoints, and even to this day, a lot of them, it's a lot of anger and rage that they talk about, but there's never any solutions that are printed. And I guess it's the or not printed, but communicated on the shows. And I'm sure that there's a lot of liability by doing stuff like that. But at the same time, all it ever did was serve to upset people. And I think that that's what he was talking about. Look, your memes are great and the AI generated videos are great, but it's time. It's time to get to the business of making America great again. We have had a lot of wins. Congratulations, Mr. President. You've already done more in the first 6 months. You did more in the first 100 days than most presidents get done in an entire term. And so he's doing great things, but it's all setting the stage. You can't just jump straight into the deep end of the pool, especially when so many people are so resistant to the truth. So I get where this guy's coming from. I agree. It is time. We got to get to it, but patience. Soon. I know we're all tired of soon, but soon it will be done.
Yeah.
And
if you
that's
guys
what we
watch
really
The
want.
Chosen,
Mhm.
you understand soon.
Soon.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Would you read that, please?
Mike Davis says Obama has no presidential immunity in attempted coup. What? Who would have seen that coming? Do you need a lawyer for that, or coups are against the law?
Huh. So strange.
God, I guess you have to be a lawyer to understand that level of legal vice, whatever.
Right. Let's
listen.
Talk us through what happens next. And if you don't mind, could you narrow it down to Comey, Clapper, Brennan, and Barack Obama? Will Barack Obama be able to claim presidential immunity on this? Can you claim presidential immunity if you're committing a crime?
He might be able to claim presidential immunity for his actions while he was the president of the United States, and they'll have to litigate that, right? That it's unclear whether he'll ultimately get presidential immunity for this, but I'll tell you this, it's an ongoing criminal conspiracy, and presidential immunity covers his actions while he's the president of the United States. They don't cover his actions when he's the former president of the United States, and when he's participating in the cover-up of this conspiracy, then he doesn't have presidential immunity.
Can you explain what the statute of limitations is here, Mike? Is there any worming snake slithering wiggle room here? Are there any technicalities that they're going to be able to hide under a rock? Over.
Yeah, remember this back in 2016, you had President Obama and then Vice President Joe Biden and Clapper and Comey and Brennan and so many other goons make up the Russian collusion hoax. They worked with the Hillary's campaign, the DNC, the Steele dossier. You had Perkins Coie law firm. You made up the Steele dossier. You made up the Russian collusion hoax. You said you were lying. You said that the Trump and his campaign were colluding with the Russians to steal the 2016 election. You fed this to the FISA court as bogus evidence. So you lied to the FISA court. You got an illegal spy warrant from this federal court. You spied on then presidential candidate Donald Trump. You continued to spy on Donald Trump when he was the president of the United States. You used his own FBI and his own CIA and other intel agencies to hobble his presidency. I remember when I went to the Senate Judiciary Committee at the beginning of his administration in 2017, and everyone was running around, including Senate Republicans, saying that Trump is a Russian asset because of this Russian collusion hoax. They destroyed his many parts of his first term. Now, it was still wildly successful because Trump is such a strong leader, but look what we're seeing now compared to his first term, and look at how much he's accomplishing now compared to his first term. That's what they were trying to prevent in his first term. His monumental accomplishments over the last 6 months, they tried to hobble the first time. And you talk about the statute of limitations, Ben. Generally, the statute of limitations for federal felonies is 5 years. So you say, oh, this was 2016, we're well beyond the statute of limitations. Guess what? You're not, because this is an ongoing criminal conspiracy. When you conspire, in order for the conspiracy to stop, you have to disavow the conspiracy. The ends of the conspiracy have to end. They haven't. They are covering up the conspiracy. They are perjuring themselves. We saw perjury by high-ranking Obama officials during this ongoing criminal conspiracy. I think it was in 2022. So we're well within the statute of limitations. And I would say to these Biden Democrats, justice is coming. I would be very, very scared if I were you. I don't think we'll put you in Mike Davis's gulag, the Viceroy's gulag, as we joke, as we troll. But justice is definitely coming, and I think the Bureau of Prisons will have plenty of space for these people.
I misspelled that. Yourself. There we go. All right. So I never thought that there would be a statute of limitations on treason. I didn't know that was a thing. But if they are going to try that defense, whatever, I think that he makes an excellent point in terms of it's an ongoing treason that's happening. These people are still here, and clearly they're still trying to execute the plan that was to take over this country. This is again, they're trying to win the war of public opinion. They know that most trials are tried on the television. The reason why that's not working anymore is because the legacy media, the dinosaur media, has squandered any credibility that it has. And that since that credibility is not there, they're not going to be able to play those games like they used to, because so many people are getting actual news from everywhere else but the usual suspects. People are just tired. They're walking off. They're not paying attention. People, they see what's on the regular news just to kind of get an idea as to the propaganda that's put out there, so you can get, a pulse on what's going on and what everybody's saying. But nobody really trusts them because it's all appeals to emotion as opposed to using logic and reason. And more people are waking up to that magnificent concept of reason and logic. because we're supposed to be an enlightened nation, but I'd rather have an employee have 100 employees give 1% of their energy than one employee given 100%. The whole Rockefeller, mantra on hiring robots. That's why they want this AI push so bad, because they just want slaves. But we're not that kind of country. Anyway, so here we go. They are trying. It's not going to work. Treason is treason, and nobody's going to let that one slide. Not anymore. And that includes the people on the far left. As people that used to be on the far left are becoming much more centrist than they used to be. As the Antifa people that were throwing bricks until Tom Homan, or not Tom Homan, but when President Trump took the cuffs off of the agents so that way they could pursue these people that are attempting the unaliving of our law enforcement officials. They stopped. They lost heart. They're becoming much more center than they used to be, just because, it can be real now. These are the things that are happening. People are waking up in their own way. And so once these arrests happen, they're not going to be able to control the narrative like they used to. The narrative control is pretty much done. People just pay attention because they've been around so long, and sometimes you just can't look away from a train wreck. You just kind of got to look at it, give it side eye kind of thing.
Right.
Are you ready? What's that, brother? Yes, I'm ready. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's listen. We got Craig.
We got Craig. All right. Love Craig.
God isn't waiting for you to finish. God celebrates when you take the first step of faith. And make no mistake about it. Once you start, that's when the real work begins. Progress requires pain. Fulfilling your calling takes faith. So what do you need to fulfill God's calling on your life? Number one, you need the faith to start small.
Have to start small. A lot of us, when we do things, we think big, and really everything in life is not a crawl, walk, run kind of scenario. Nobody really gets up and starts running right off the bat, unless, like you're Beethoven or Bach or somebody like that, doing piano, by the time you're 3 or something like that. But then again, you got to start small.
I started doing accounting when I was like 2 or something.
Did you? It sounds about right.
Just kidding.
Anyway, so we got to make sure. What did this not send? There we go. All right, just trying to say hi to Mama Spark there. Don't leave. We love you. Anyways, so yeah, got to start small, folks, and it makes it easier to see the bigger things as we move forward. It's all about growth. We're all trying to grow, and it's about being in love, and love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we always need to learn how to love ourselves better so we can learn to love our neighbors better too.
Amen.
You ready?
Ready?
Yes.
All right.
Sometimes it's a challenge.
It is. But remember, you will be forgiven by the same measure of your forgiveness.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's watch.
Yep.
Motivation is the most dangerous thing to depend on. Imagine only being able to perform when a certain feeling arises, a sensation that swiftly comes and goes. Instead, reclaim control over your mind. Assert to yourself that you will perform, regardless of your feelings. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength.
There you are. There she is.
Hey, everyone. I just realized it's my Moto.
It is your Moto tonight. Goose. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness. It's okay. Y'all love me because I'm goofy.
Well,
so
I loved you first.
I know. And I'm so grateful for that. So what do you have control over? Your own emotions. And what do you have most control over? Your mind. Your mind. Don't let
At least we're supposed to.
We're supposed to, yeah. Don't let anything get you to the point where you get so angry that you can't have those emotions under control. Because we say it all the time. I love you too, Steph. We say it all the time. The measure in which you will be measured.
Measure you use to, and let me look that up.
Thank you. Go ahead. I appreciate you. It will be used against you. And if our Lord and Savior, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, however you choose to say it, can forgive us for everything we did, we should be able to forgive everyone else. Am I saying that's easy? No, it's not. But what you can do every morning is when you wake up, ask for the people who have wronged you to have a great life because of your great life. And eventually, it'll kind of sound fake as you're saying it, but eventually it gets so much easier as you continue to pray for these people. And forgiveness is so important. I love you too, Mama Spark. Just know that we absolutely positively have to move forward and we have to forgive these people. I know it's a lot easier to say, hang them, wood chipper, all this stuff. And as a person who went through some great, awful, wonderful things that made me a better person, but was molested as a child, I have forgiven that person because obviously they had some kind of trauma in their life that didn't make them so great. So work on forgiveness, people.
Hey, new friend.
Hey, Jen. Remember, absolutely, guidance from prayer. God is always there for you. So absolutely, positively work on forgiveness because he forgave us when we were all just broken sinners.
All right.
Amen, Mike. Seasoning, babe?
Yeah. I'm sure we have all wronged God more than anyone has wronged us. Boy, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 3. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. And then verse 3, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? Now, that's, let's see, it's kind of not necessarily in relation to the Marcus Aurelius quote that Kay was going, or that she brought up here, but it does kind of play along. And we need to, as we can get upset by all of these things, but it doesn't do anything for our own soul. The acid that the vessel, acid does more to the vessel in which it is stored than on that which it is poured. And so as we hold on to that acid, and that holding on to that acid truly is not being in control of our emotional being. We must be in control of our emotional being, because as we hold on to that anger, as we hold on to that frustration and everything, it only hurts us. It's your liver that's producing all of this anger and everything. We got to break out of that. We got to make sure that anything that's outside of us does not affect how we respond. It doesn't mean that the way you feel about something, your emotions are there for a very specific reason, and that is to let you know about what's going on around you. Think of it as another of the five senses: sight, taste, touch, smell, hearing, and I don't know if I repeated. Anyways, it's same thing with your emotional being, and we got to clear that out. And as we clear out that emotional being of ourselves, it makes it much easier in which to move forward with that open heart that they speak of in the Bible. It is very important. All of those lessons are there. It's just up to us as to whether or not we are going to avail ourselves to those lessons. It is a difficult path to walk, to try to not let everything upset us. The only thing Jesus really got upset about was the money changers inside of the temple, right?
His father's house.
Yeah, his father's had the one place that, God says, this is where my presence will be. And then, you got merch. You got merch in the temple.
Yeah.
That's the thing that upset him more than anything
I
else.
can have merch because we're a podcast.
But this isn't the house of God. This is a podcast that talks trash about the news and whatever. We entertain the news here. So we are entertainers. Anyway, got to get control of your emotional state. And it's a difficult journey, but it's an absolute necessity.
And Marcus Aurelius was an amazing person.
Yeah. Let's see. If you're too mad, you overreact. I'm constantly working on that too. Look, Brother Hops, we're all working on that. I know that I could not go through what Jesus did and not defend myself. Yeah. Ask my wife. There's absolutely nothing that I won't defend in terms of, but I thought this, I thought that, but, and so that's, something I work on, because I know that in my heart, I'm trying to do the right thing, but it doesn't mean that I'm not screwing things up. So yeah, we just gotta, we gotta take a step back from everything, breathe through it, and then have a considered response. That's what philosophy is about. That's what the Bible is talking about.
Yes. And remember, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
Yeah. And he's calling us. I say that God is calling all of us because you see the world a little bit differently than the people who are still they would call it dead, let the dead bury their dead kind of quote. Right. They're not actually dead. They're just kind of on autopilot, I guess is the best way to put it. And we got to wake them up. And the only way to wake them up is to open their hearts. But everybody's got significant amounts of pain that they're trying to suppress. Why do you think alcohol and drugs are such a big deal?
Right.
People don't know how to, because everybody doesn't know how to help anybody else. That's why we got to open our hearts up, so that way we can make this world a better place. And it may be beautiful while we're still alive, but we're not working for us. Each and every one of us are working for our children as a whole. Not the Hillary Clinton, it takes a village kind of thing, but if everybody if everybody is
trying to work on that forgiveness, because you say her name and I'm like,
Hillary requires a lot of forgiveness. And you know what we do? We pray for him.
Yeah, we do.
And
we do. And I want to
forgiveness
say
is
hi to
for
Trump One over on Pilled. They just showed up. Thank you very much.
Thanks for showing up. Yeah.
And so here's the thing.
All right. Bring us home. Bring it
us home. Here's the thing. As we continue to move forward, and as we continue, like Mike had said one time, up there, I'm sure we've all offended God way more than anyone's ever offended us. I'm sure we're all just sinners.
Yeah.
Only one perfect person on this planet, and they didn't like him very much. They only let him stay around for 33 years, and he went through an awful lot for each and every one of us. So just remember that.
Without a doubt. Anyways, all right. We will be back tomorrow. We are planning on changing this to 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because we got to take care of getting Kay healthy again. And we got to get it all working together. So we thank you for your patience. We thank you for your patience while we showed up an hour late today. But we will be back tomorrow, same that time at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I did that backwards. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. p.m. Pacific on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Locals, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on Pill.net, take that red pill. And if you're on Facebook, you got like 7 choices. Go over there, pick one.
All right, everybody. I think we're calling it a night now, but we do appreciate each and every one of you, and we thank you for joining us. We love you all. Have a great night. Be safe, and God bless each and every one of you.